The to-do list is right there, staring at you. You know what needs to be done. The work report, signing up for the gym, that personal project you swore you'd start, the difficult conversation you've been putting off. Your mind knows, rationally, the sequence of steps, but your body feels like it weighs a ton. An invisible force, an inertia as heavy as a swamp, pins you to the couch, to the infinite scroll of your phone, to anything other than what truly matters. It's not quite laziness, it's something deeper. It's a paralysis, a feeling of having the engine on but the car won't move. If you identify with this, know that you are not alone. You're experiencing the paralyzed mind. The problem with our culture is that it has taught us to wait for a magic lightning bolt called motivation. We believe we need to feel like doing something to then start doing it, and we wait for this wave of inspiration that often never arrives. Stoicism offers us a punch of reality and turns this idea upside down. Motivation is not the cause of action. Most of the time, it is the consequence. Today on Stoic Punch, we will give you the Stoic Ignition, a set of principles and tools to start the engine, break the inertia, and prove to yourself that you don't need the will to act. You need the wisdom and discipline to act. First, let's understand the anatomy of this paralysis. Why do we get stuck in this state? Often what we call laziness or apathy is actually a symptom of deeper causes. One of them is the overload of choices. We live in the paradox of choice. So many options, so many paths, so many tutorials that the task of choosing where to begin becomes so overwhelming that we end up not beginning anywhere. Another powerful cause is perfectionism. The fear that the result of our effort will not be perfect is so great that we prefer the safety of inaction to the vulnerability of producing something imperfect. The paralyzed mind whispers, "If I can't do this perfectly, it's better not to do it at all." There is also a lack of clarity. If your goals are vague, like, "I want to be healthier," or "I want to be successful," they don't offer a strong enough why to move you. They aren't connected to your deepest values. And of course, there is genuine exhaustion. Sometimes the mental and physical battery is truly empty, and inertia is the body's signal asking for rest. But most of the time, the paralysis comes from the trap of waiting for the right emotion, for motivation. Waiting for the will to act is like a sailor waiting for the wind to blow in the exact direction they want. A Stoic sailor learns to use the oars.
This is where the Stoic Ignition comes in. The fundamental principle you need to internalize is this: action precedes motivation. The will to do something is like a fire. It doesn't appear out of nowhere. It needs an initial spark to exist. Action, no matter how small, is that spark. The Stoics didn't act because they felt good or inspired. They acted out of duty, reason, and discipline. Action was the path, not the destination. The first spark of the Stoic ignition is the daily duty, or kathikon. Your goal to escape paralysis cannot be to write a book or to transform my body. That's too big, too scary. Your goal is to fulfill your first and most basic duty of the day. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world at his time, wrote in his diary, chiding himself to simply get out of bed in the morning. He reminded himself, the other creatures of nature, the birds, the ants, the spiders, get up and do their work to keep the world in order. And you, a human being, hesitate to do the work of a human being. Your first duty is not grandiose. It's to get up. It's to make your bed. It's to take a shower. It's to complete the first and smallest task on your list. Focusing on the immediate duty breaks the paralysis of grandiosity. The second spark is the 2-minute rule, with a Stoic focus. The biggest barrier of inertia is the initial resistance to starting. The solution is to make the beginning so ridiculously easy that it's almost impossible to say no. Want to build a reading habit? Commit to reading one single page. Not the chapter, not the book. One page. Want to start exercising? Commit only to putting on your gym clothes. That's it. The goal here is not just the behavioral hack. For the Stoic, the value lies in the act of initiating. By putting on your gym clothes, you've won your first battle of the day against apathy. You've scored a point on your inner scorecard. You've proven to yourself that your character and your decision are stronger than your momentary laziness. This small victory generates the momentum for the next one.
The third spark is define the intention, detach from the outcome. This is the dichotomy of control applied to action. Often, paralysis comes from fear of the result. What if I work out and don't lose weight? What if I write and nobody likes it? The Stoic knows that the final result is never 100% under their control, but their effort and their intention are. So before starting a task, define your intention clearly. Don't say, I'm going to write a perfect chapter. Say, my intention is to sit and write for 25 minutes with full focus, to the best of my ability, today. That is your success. Whether the result is good or bad, applauded or ignored, is secondary. This mindset removes the crushing pressure of the outcome and makes the simple act of starting much lighter and easier. The fourth and most powerful spark is the visualization of the cost of inaction. This is a kind of inverted premeditatio malorum. Instead of just visualizing the bad things that could happen, vividly visualize the bad thing that will happen if you do nothing. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 1, 5, 10 years from now in the exact same place, paralyzed by the same inertia. Feel the atrophy of your skills. Feel the weight of missed opportunities. Taste the bitter regret of not even having tried. Use this uncomfortable vision not to blame yourself, but as a rational and potent fuel for action now. It is a Stoic reminder of the very high price of remaining stationary. When you start using these ignitions, the magic happens. Life gets into motion. Action generates more action, creating a virtuous cycle of momentum. Purpose, which once seemed like a distant mirage, begins to reveal itself in the action itself. You discover what energizes you by doing, not by passive thinking. Self-discipline ceases to be a scary word and becomes synonymous with freedom, the freedom from the prison of your own apathy and your moods. And most importantly, self-respect grows exponentially because there is no feeling more powerful than keeping the word you gave to yourself. The will to do is not a lightning bolt that falls from the sky. It is a flame that you yourself light with the spark of the first, small, deliberate action. The antidote for the paralyzed mind is the body in motion, guided by reason and duty. So the challenge is set. What is the task that your paralyzed mind is begging you to postpone? And which of these Stoic ignitions will you use to take the very first step, no matter how small, today? Commit to a single action in the comments below. If this guide to breaking inertia gave you the spark you needed, then smash that like button, subscribe to StoicPunch for more tools for a stronger mind, and hit the notification bell. Remember, the universe rewards action, not intention. One small step with purpose is infinitely more powerful than the greatest of paralyzed intentions. This is Stoic Punch. Warm up the engine. Start acting.